Funding for On Stage at Wolf Trap was made possible by a grant from Martin Marietta Corporation, supplying the creative intelligence to bring together diverse technologies in aerospace, information management, electronics, and materials. Additional funding was provided by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
You never forget your first train ride, but for some, reminiscing is not enough. Dedicated train lovers have put some of the world's greatest engines back on the tracks. Meanwhile, business is booming for freight. This is James Whitmore. Come along for the ride on our next National Geographic special, Love Those Trains.
Tune in Wednesday night at 8. Don't just watch the news, probe beneath the surface. Discover why it's news. Interview the newsmakers on the MacNeil Lehrer News Hour tonight at 11:30. WVIZ TV 25 in Cleveland.
Following program is partially funded by the Humanities Foundation of West Virginia, a state program of the National Endowment for the Humanities. The preceding program was partially funded by the Humanities Foundation of West Virginia, a state program of the National Endowment for the Humanities. This program was produced by WPBY-TV, a West Virginia public broadcasting station, which is solely responsible for the program content. To obtain a transcript of Even the Heavens Weep, send $4 to Public Television Publications, Post Office Box 701, Kent, Ohio, 44240.
Next time on Nova, a docudrama on the father of genetic research, Gregor Mendel.
Suppose you've got two lots of separate solid particles, say like sand and sugar. Well, you can mix them together, but they don't combine. It's the same with heredity.
The efforts of this Augustinian friar were understood by only a few of his colleagues in science and the church. But his work eventually revolutionized the theories concerning heredity.
I can predict it, Johann. Given a big enough sample, it conforms to simple, straightforward statistical laws. So you get 9 of these, 3 of these, 3 of these, and 1 of these. Anyone can do it and get the same result. No one will be able to challenge it.
Join us as we review his struggles in The Garden of Inheritance, the story of Gregor Mendel, next time on Nova.
Watch Nova tomorrow evening at 8 here on TV 25.
You never forget your first train ride, but for some, reminiscing is not enough. Dedicated train lovers have put some of the world's greatest engines back on the tracks. Meanwhile, business is booming for freight. This is James Whitmore. Come along for the ride on our next National Geographic special, Love Those Trains.
Tune in Wednesday night at 8.
Hello, I'm Rukeyser, and while I'm taking a night off this week, my friend and colleague Frank Cappiello will be sitting in for me as guest host of Wall Street Week and talking with a top money manager from the city of brotherly love. She's Nancy Smith, and she has some thoughts about how to make the entire family richer in the autumn of '85. I hope you'll join them.
Friday evening at 8:30 here on TV 25. What's making news in Northeast Ohio this week? Find out when Hugh Daniso and a panel of reporters discuss this week's top stories on the North Coast Report Thursday night at 8.